Yeah.
Okay, love that.
I got
Y'all
a
can ask
question.
a question. Y'all can keep it real.
There we go. They have a statement that they have any words. It says, I'm glad you guys dated before you met each other. I struggle with putting myself out there again after a traumatic breakup, but I'm healing and holding on to God's promise. Any words of encouragement?
I think you're doing exactly what you need to do. Know that that promise that he gave you. First of all, I'm glad you know what his promise is.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
first step. And I'm assuming by the way you wrote that you're talking about his promises in general, but that you spent time with him. You know what he's told you, right? And so he don't take it back. He not a man he could lie. And the only way to hold on is to hold on.
Mm.
Mm.
You
Mm.
know, and so you have to believe him and know that he loves you. And you know, when I was dating, I remember one time I was out before I was dating, before we met. I was out walking. I used to do a lot of walking. I used to spend a lot
Mm.
of time in prayer. And I used to love to be outside. I remember one time I was in my neighborhood and I went past this tree. And it was an apple tree. But some of the apples had not grown. And so one of the apples, it was about that big with a stem. It fell
Mm.
off the tree and it was undeveloped. And just something that simple, you know, God talked to me. He said, see, this is why you don't rush into a relationship. Because if
Mm.
it's not right, it's not ready. You
Mm.
gotta wait, you know, to get something that is something that's good for you, it takes time. It's not just gonna happen overnight. You have to let it develop.
Right.
And I
Right.
kept it was just a little thing for me. You know, whatever God's word is for you is for you. But it was a little thing. I kept that little apple for years. It reminded me, you know, if I was out somewhere, somebody trying to talk to me, I was like, I knew right here that
Yeah.
ain't really right. You know, this
Yeah.
one, or I even started talking to them at church. Nothing wrong with them. They just wasn't mine. I can think of
Mhm.
a couple guys. They're good guys. They're married, got successful relationships now. Blessings. Just wasn't right for us, right?
Right.
And I would always remember that little apple. Like, that's not what God, that's not what He had me put my patience on. That's not what He baking for me. That's not what He's developing for me. And so
Mm.
you want to hold on to that and know that when you get it, it really is worth the wait. It
Mm.
really does redeem the time.
That's
And
good.
and, and it's no way to, it's a hard thing. Because I remember married women telling me stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, yeah, but where they at?
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's an easy thing, but it's a true thing.